401ks can be a financial blessing to many families. Often, they're what gets people to start investing in lieu of any other type of retirement strategy. It's much easier to use a matching 401k plan offered through your employer than to open your own account elsewhere and begin investing. However, contributing money to a 401k for years doesn't necessarily guarantee a prosperous life during retirement. Surprisingly, the average 401k balance is just slightly over $100,000, which is just a fraction of what most people need to retire. The AARP estimates that around 1.2 million is needed to provide an annual income of $40,000 for 30 or so years. Why aren't people setting aside more money for their retirement? There's much more involved to ensuring a secure retirement than just signing up for a savings plan. Most people aren't knowledgeable about the many ways to prepare correctly for retirement with a 401k. To help, here's a list of the most prominent mistakes that could be costing you your retirement. My name is Chris, and I'm here to teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. If you're interested in improving your financial future, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if this video is helpful. Mistake number 1. Not taking advantage of a company match. The best thing that a 401k plan can offer is the employer matching contribution. This is basically a bonus that your company kicks in when you contribute to your retirement account, which is usually based on a certain percentage of your pay. If your company contributes up to 6% of your salary, make sure you're contributing at least 6% to take advantage of that entire match. Otherwise, it's simply money that your employer is pocketing and not paying you. These matches can double your retirement savings in some cases. But, like anything, there is a catch, and that's what's called vesting. Rules vary, but might state that you own 0% of the company's contributions during your first year of employment, 50% after 2 years, 75% after 3 years, and 100% of your match after 4 years. This means that if you leave the company after just 1 year, none of those matching contributions will be yours. If you're considering finding a new job, you might want to make sure you're fully vested. You might decide you have to stick around at a less desirable job for a few more years to receive that money. Mistake number 2. Cashing out when you change jobs. If for some reason you find yourself changing jobs, do not cash out your 401k. This could result in hefty penalties due to age restrictions in addition to large tax implications. Some funds allow you to leave money with your former employer, but many don't. If you're required to move the money, do a rollover into an IRA or into your new employer's 401k plan if possible. In a direct rollover, the funds are moved right into the new account, leaving little chance for you to spend the money. Mistake number 3. Not increasing contributions over time. 401k contributions are more often than not based on a percentage of your salary. So, if you contribute 6% to your 401k, the contributions will rise in line with any increase in pay. But if you want to get even further ahead financially, creating the possibility of reaching financial freedom sooner, you want to boost those contributions more than that. Say you make $75,000 a year and contribute 6%, or $4,500 to your retirement plan. If you get a 5% raise, your salary goes up to $78,750, and that increases your 6% 401k contribution to $4,725. You are now making $3,750 more, but your annual contribution only went up by $225. Your cost of living doesn't change the day you get a raise. In this scenario, you could afford to increase your annual contribution to 10%, which would be $7,500 annually. It might be tempting to grab that immediate gratification, but investing in your retirement instead will bring greater rewards. Mistake number 4. Being oblivious to investment performance. At some point, you decided how to invest the money in your 401k, usually when the account was opened. The options were probably provided based on a varying level of risk. If you haven't been paying attention to how those investments have been performing compared to the overall market, start doing so now. Every year that goes by is 1 year you won't be getting back, so it's important to take full advantage of compound interest. A portfolio that averages 10% over a career and one that averages just 6% will be hugely different at retirement. The overall market averages about 10% per year, so that's a good benchmark to aim for. Remember that returns vary based on market conditions, so to understand if your returns are realistic, compare the funds that are available to you to a similar fund. If you're holding a small cap fund, you could compare its performance to the S&P Small Cap 600 over the same time period. If you have a target date fund, compare that to an equivalent offered through a company such as Vanguard. There's no reason to hold on to an underperforming fund. The more years you have between now and your projected retirement date, the more aggressive you can be. You might come to the conclusion that there are no excellent options available with your 401k, in which case, divert some extra cash after taking advantage of the match into an IRA or even a traditional brokerage account. Mistake number 5. Loading up on too much company stock. Chances are that you get a discount on any company's stock. It's possible that this is a good opportunity, but there's extra risk associated with individual stock. Experts recommend that most individual investors keep most of their money in index funds or ETFs and a portion in individual stock, say 20% or so. This 20% could be comprised of one single stock or multiple, but make sure you're not allocating too much of your portfolio to one stock or putting too many eggs in one basket. Many times, employees are overconfident in their employer, keeping much of their retirement in their stock only to find out that the company is filing bankruptcy. If your company runs into trouble, not only your job might be in jeopardy, but also your retirement will be as well. Mistake number 6. Not understanding the downsides. 401ks aren't perfect, and it's critical to understand that. It's wise to be aware of these downfalls and alternative choices. For example, they usually have very limited investment selections, most often between a dozen or two options. While these choices might be decent, the fees that you'll be paying are likely higher than what you'll pay with an individual retirement account, where there are virtually endless investment choices. Don't underestimate the ability fees have to eat away at your savings. Even fees of 1 or 2% will dramatically decrease the amount you've amassed by retirement. In addition, IRAs offer the ability to invest in individual stocks if that's something you're interested in. Tax diversification is another big reason to think about spreading out your investment. Contributing to a Roth IRA will ensure you don't pay any taxes on those funds during retirement, which can be a huge advantage since 401k disbursements are taxed at ordinary income rates. Whether or not the tax is better paid now or later will depend primarily on if your income bracket is predicted to be higher or lower during retirement. If it's projected to be higher, income solely from a 401k will result in a sizable tax bill. Mistake number 7. Cashing out. Taking money from your 401k for a major purchase is one of the worst things you can do for your financial future. It can be tempting to take a lump sum out of this account to purchase a new car or expensive item instead of funding your purchase another way, but this can have a negative impact that can last your lifetime. Not only will you be forced to pay hefty fees if you withdraw before retirement age, but you could also face a big tax burden. Possibly the worst part about cashing out is that you'll be missing out on compound interest. Leaving that money in there to grow allows it to snowball much quicker. Taking money out of this account before retirement should only be done after all other options have been exhausted. By ensuring your emergency fund is established with at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses, it's possible to limit the likelihood of resorting to this. Investing in a 401k is engineered to be simple for everyday investors, and contributing to one is a fantastic start. With some basic knowledge, you can earn substantially more passive income. Make the most of your account by saving early and often, resisting the urge to cash out, and managing how your money is invested. These small tweaks can dramatically increase your savings over time, which puts you that much closer to turning in your notice and living more comfortably in retirement.